shortly on that, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. You're excused.
Judge, we'll just keep the. It was originally set April the 16th, so we'll just keep that date. And Mr. Mandujano, you don't have to appear on that date, but I will contact you regarding the court-appointed attorney.
Thank you, sir. You have my email.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Mandujano.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Judge, the next case we can take care of is Mr. Maldonado with attorney Richard Jones. And also, I think you should have a packet for your signature on Villanueva.
Okay.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Ms. Platt.
Judge, I asked that this case be set today. I've just not had a lot of communication with Mr. Jones during the pandemic on this case.
Hey,
And I know
Isabella.
that this
I'm gonna talk
man
real
has been in jail
quiet,
for a very long
sorry.
time.
I've
And so
got this muted at the
I'd like an
moment.
update, some communication about where we're
Let me just
going,
bring this
if they have a
display capture down a
counteroffer,
bit.
anything of that nature.
Judge, I'm sorry about that. I've had some health issues over the last several months that I've been working on.
Just waiting for them to
And since
bring
I feel
up
ultimately
Magen
this is going to wind up being
Fieramusca
a
on
jury
the docket
case, and that's
in
probably
Texas.
where we're headed on this. And I apologize. Miss Platt's always been very
She
upfront
might
with
be
me and very
on
good about
after this
communicating
guy.
with me. And I apologize if I haven't
Hey,
been
shine on.
as communicative as I should have been in the last several months, but I feel like that's
Yep. So
ultimately
for
where we're
anyone who
going,
doesn't
Judge,
know this
on
story,
this.
it was terrible.
I'm working on a few things. I would ask
Um,
for month resets. We can come back and I can give you an
These
update
two,
at that point in time, Judge. And
Magen
I've spoken with
Fieramusca
Mr.
and Heidi
Maldonado
Broussard were
on
best
several
friends.
occasions over the last couple of months.
And Heidi Broussard
A
had just
couple of weeks
had
ago.
a baby
So
girl
he and I are on the
with
same track
her
on this, Your Honor.
fiance.
Okay. So maybe we need to
Now
get this
there
case set
are
on our
reports that Magen
Wednesday status
Fieramusca
conference docket.
had a miscarriage, but she
It
was doing weird
is
things like
a
pretending to be pregnant.
very old
She had
case.
a baby
So
register up
I
online.
will tell you that
So
you
basically
will
what she
be at
did
the
is she
top of the
picked
list of our
Heidi up
jury trials
and the
once we get
baby
going. So
one day,
I want
drove
to make
them
sure
out
that
to
you
the house
all
that she
have
was
everything
renting,
that you need, that you're ready to proceed to trial. And is
murdered
that Mr.
Heidi
Maldonado? Do I
Broussard
see
and
you?
tried to keep the baby as her own.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Mr. Maldonado.
This hearing, I believe, is a reduction
So,
in
sir,
bond.
what I am ordering right now,
This
the
hasn't
case will
gone to
be
trial
reset for
yet,
a month
but
to
she's been
give
in
your
prison
attorney and the
for,
state to
gosh, what, a
finish
year
up any last
or
minute
more?
things that they need to do to
So
prepare for your trial.
the initial report was it
I
was
do
going
see
to
here
be
that you have been in
at
jail for quite
9
a long time, 662 days.
Central, but
So
now
what I
they're
was
saying
indicating to your lawyer is that
11.
your case will be at the top of the trial list once jury trials get
I'm
started
not
here in Travis
sure.
County. Unfortunately, at this
So
moment, I cannot tell you exactly when that will be,
yeah,
but
so
we
yes, I mean, so
anticipate that it
this
will
is in
be
Texas. So
soon.
we know how
Do
this
you have
docket
any
is
questions
different.
for me, Mr.
This is waiting for
Maldonado?
a different defendant in the bottom right hand corner.
Okay.
So I've just got that
So let's
muted
go
at the
ahead
moment until I bring up
and
Heidi
set this
Broussard.
for
Oh,
our
sorry,
Wednesday
Magen
docket in a month,
Fieramusca.
please.
So Magen
Judge, it'll be
and
set
Heidi
April
were best
21st
friends.
at 1 p.m.
Thank you.
And Megan was even in the delivery
Thank you,
room
Judge.
with Heidi
Thank
when
you,
she
Judge.
gave
Can I be
birth
excused?
to
Thank
their
you.
little
You all can be
girl.
excused. Have a good day.
And
Nice to
when
see you, Judge.
Heidi and the
Good
baby went
seeing you.
missing,
Take care.
of course everyone
Bye.
looked at the fiance because,
Okay, Judge, at this point,
you know,
we're just waiting
it
on
looks like they're
attorneys
taking that
and
guy out.
plea
So
packets.
hopefully they'll clear this docket quite quickly.
I don't think anything's ready just now.
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, she
Nash,
was even in the
Yes.
delivery room. They
would
were
it be
like best
possible?
friends.
My client
And
isn't
she ended up
responding.
killing her best friend so
She
that
was
she could
supposed to have
have this
gotten on at
baby
9, so
and
I
pretend that it was hers.
don't mind waiting
Megan's
a little bit, but not
boyfriend
all day.
didn't
And
even
this seems
know.
to be
He
status
thought she
quo
was
for her.
pregnant. She was
Okay,
faking
if
a
you like, this
pregnancy.
is on Brown.
He didn't
Judge,
even know.
And Ms. Gately, well, actually, the
And she
defendant wanted a
told
new attorney.
him that she
So that's why
went
they were coming
away
and appearing today.
Brown?
to have the baby.
Zavia Brown.
And he believed her.
Okay.
It was crazy.
So Ms. Brown
They
was a
found
new lawyer. When was the last
Heidi
time that you had any contact
in
with her, Ms.
the
Gately?
trunk of Megan's
A
car
very
on her property.
Lovely conversation.
Luckily, the baby was okay
yesterday,
and
I sent her
returned
over all the
to
Zoom
the fiance, who
information
was
for her to be
devastated.
on the call today.
So
She is
now
upset that her
we're just
third
waiting for the
DWI
docket. I'm not
with
sure of
a,
the order on the
I think it
docket
was a
today.
1.8 BT and motor vehicle accident with a car flipped upside down. I only got it down to a misdemeanor.
I'll bring the sound up now.
So she's indicated that she wants new counsel.
I think they're
She's an
talking about a
older
motor
client.
vehicle
She has some
accident, so
significant mental health issues, but she was not accepted on the mental health docket.
That you say that you sent her the Zoom information yesterday?
Yep, we spoke via text at about 10:18
I'll grab
a.m.
some information for
yesterday.
you guys to
I
read.
was trying to confirm that she had Zoom or needed to upload it. And her response was that she's a college student, so of course she has Zoom.
Okay.
If you
Can
want
you
to
do me
read
a
with it.
favor? I
Now,
just
she
tried
is
to
charged
contact
with
her
capital
this
murder.
morning. I will not keep you
Texas
here all
doesn't mess
morning, I
around.
promise you, but I just want to make sure that we
Yeah, so
try to get a hold of her.
her phone indicates that it does not accept incoming calls, and I've sent 4 texts already.
This
So,
is probably a good
and I have
article,
no objection to her motion.
just while we're waiting for the hearing.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and excuse you if you can
It'll give you kind of a rundown of what happened.
I guess available in the event that she
So
does show
terrible.
up.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a doctor's appointment at 11:30. That's the only thing that I need to be able to make.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Hopefully she'll be here before then, okay?
Okay, and if she texts me that she's getting on, then obviously I'll get right back on.
All right, thank you, Ms. Caitlin.
Thank you.
Ash, I believe you said there was something I needed to sign, but I don't see anything.
Yes, you should have a packet on Villanueva Fernandez.
I just resent it to you, Judge, so hopefully it goes to the top of your inbox.
I just came through.
Now remember, a lot of the orders on the docket
Thank you.
can be moved around for many reasons, depending on, defense availability. People might be running late, could be for COVID reasons. So it's kind of, it's just kind of like a waiting game. But this was a terrible story when it broke, and it broke live. Where helicopters were surrounding Magen's property, where she had murdered Heidi Broussard, and where she was keeping the baby. I just want to make sure I'm in the right judicial court here, because, oh, actually it's a criminal court. There are so many, and now in this day and age, everything's on Zoom. Yeah, so it should be the Travis County 460th Judicial District Court, actually. So, I think, as you know, anyone who knows court cases and things like that, you know that they can certainly take a lot of time. I had totally forgot that this was happening. It's 12:30 in the morning here, so that's why I have to talk a little bit low. But hopefully she is up on the docket soon. I'm just going to check this. I do believe it is just a bond reduction, which she's not going to get. This is Texas we're talking about, and she's charged with capital murder. I don't think she's going to get a bond reduction. Okay, who we got now?
Judge, Ms. Brown has appeared on the call.
So the interesting thing is, even though she's been in jail for 15 odd months, this is her first court appearance. So that's quite interesting. Because normally you would see something, some sort of hearing, you know. But this is her first one since December 2019, when this happened. So I'm sorry, it's just a waiting game, guys, but I think most people are familiar with this case. If you Google Heidi Broussard, you can look up on the case. Otherwise, I've put a link there as well. Also, I'll just grab the if you're not a member of my Discord, here's the link. And most
Yes,
of you,
Miss Brown is here now.
Yes, I told the judge, so everybody's here now, Judge.
most of you know I do
Thank
gaming,
you.
but I also do true crime.
Good morning, Ms. Brown.
Good morning.
So we are here along with your attorney, Ms. Gately, and it's my understanding that you are requesting a new attorney. What's going on?
Yeah, I was gonna try to pay for an attorney. I was gonna try to. My mom was gonna try to help me buy me an attorney.
So have you hired an attorney at this time?
No, I have not. I'm working on it
Okay.
because she wants them to look deeper into my case.
Okay, so Ms. Brown, this case is from 2018. It's my understanding that there has already been some negotiations going on with the case. Is that right, Ms. Gately?
Yes, Your Honor, extensive negotiations. It actually started in the 403 with Mr. Nielsen, and then ultimately ended up over in this court. I'm sorry, not with Mr. Nielsen. I'm sorry, Eric. With David. And it started as a felony. With Abby's permission, I have been negotiating for quite some time with Guillermo. He wanted her to complete an IOP, which she did. What appears to be the biggest stumbling block is the offer as it stands right now is a misdemeanor probation. But he wants either she doesn't have a car, so not IID, and wants either Pam or Scram. She's had it on for the duration of her pretrial period. She is indigent, in school, with some mental health issues and unable to afford the Pam or the Scram. I reached out to CAPS DS to see if there was any funding source that could assist me in helping to pay for the Pam or the Scram, but there is no such agency in place. I was hoping maybe that new bond unit might be able to do it, but they get their money back at the end of the bond, so they were not willing to do it because it would be an upfront cost. Guillermo's position was that that was the one hard specific requirement that he wanted during the course of the probation. Because of the, she's had some slip ups on the devices while on pretrial, although she disputes most of them. And
Okay, so let me ask you, Ms. Gately, right now she has the PAM, is that right?
correct.
And is that being paid by the county, or is that something that Ms. Brown is paying?
It was county paid up. Xavier, are you on the Scram or the PAM? The ankle monitor?
I got the hand.
Okay, but you were on the ankle monitor, if I
I
recall.
was on the ankle monitor.
Causing some agitation, so they moved it over to the PAM device.
Okay. And that is something that the county is paying for, Ms. Brown?
Yes, ma'am.
Because they will only pay for it on a pretrial status, not.
I understand. So Ms. Brown, you say that you're looking to hire an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
May be helping you with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I will give you a month to try to do that. Obviously, you have a right to hire whoever you wish to represent you in your case. I will give you a month to do that. I will keep Ms. Gately on at this time because I don't want you to be out there without an attorney.
Hey, booby. No, this is
And
not
that will come back in a month and revisit to see if you have a new lawyer.
Nice observation there.
So that they can continue working on your case at that point. Okay?
Okay.
1 month. Nash,
It's just we can reset to April the 26th at 9 a.m.
thank you.
And that will be another Zoom date on a Monday?
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. You both are excused.
Okay, yes, we have one defendant in the breakout room going over paperwork, and we're just waiting on Mr. Gergen, and I believe it's Miss Harero coming from Mr. Tolan's office.
Okay.
I'll put it over to the breakout room.
What are we doing with Hamad?
And all the parties are here. I reached out to Mr. Brown to see if he needed a breakout room, but everybody is present.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Brand.
Good morning. Mr. Erskine is lead. He is here.
Good morning, Mr. Erskine. What are we
Good morning,
doing
Judge.
today?
Right now, I think we're still asking for a little bit more time to review some of the documents that we have requested and received recently.
Okay. If I recall, we were going to try to arraign today. Is that not happening today?
Actually, that would be fine if we could go ahead and do that. I think that would be appropriate.
Then let's go ahead and do that, being that I'm sure Mr. Hamad was, he's ready to come into the court. So let's go ahead and get him arraigned. And then how long do you need to continue reviewing evidence?
Well, and Your Honor, respectfully, I don't know if it's just us. I think if I'm correct, we're waiting on DNA because if I remember correctly, and Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, in the sex assault case, there was a CODIS hit saying that one piece of DNA evidence matched the other. In other words, the Colorado unknown matched the Austin unknown. But then they subsequently took a buffalo swab of him to then compare it to those samples to ensure that he was that unknown. And I thought we were still waiting on that.
Mr. Goodman, is that something that's being done? Is there DNA testing happening?
Let me check on the sexual assault case. That's the one that Mr. Campbell is handling.
Right, and that off the top of my head, I don't know. I've slept since I've read the file that deeply.
And
I can check on that.
I don't want to misstate that, Matt. I just, for some reason, that was in my head that you had the CODIS from Colorado to Austin, but
you're thinking that there still may be a confirmatory buckle pending?
Correct.
Yeah, I would need to dig to do that. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Okay, then let's go ahead and do the arraignment today. And then we'll go ahead and reset for a couple of months so that you can all finish up with your discovery. And find out whether or not there is DNA testing being conducted at this time, or whether it will be.
He's present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Hamad.
Good morning, ma'am.
Give me just 1 second, please. So for some reason, I can't find the indictment on the 4028 case. But what I have, it's that it's an ag robbery. Is that right?
There's an ag robbery and there's also an aggravated assault in there.
So on the 1138, I have 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, and then 4 counts of aggravated sexual assault.
That's right, Judge.
That's on the 1138.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the other case, the 4028, which I cannot find the indictment, all I have is an aggravated robbery. Is that right?
There's count 1 is ag assault with a deadly weapon, and count 2 is ag robbery with a deadly weapon.
The judges sent you the indictment via email.
Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, Mr. Hamad. So the reason we are here today is that so that you can be arraigned on both your cases, and also give your attorneys a little bit more time to continue preparing for trial, okay? But basically, I just want to make sure that you understand what you're being charged with, okay? So at this time, I am going to call B1DC 20-301138 and 20-904028. Both filed the state of Texas versus Hamad Hamad. The cases are called for arraignment. Is the state ready?
We're ready, Judge.
Defense ready?
We're ready, Judge.
And sir, are you Mr. Hamad Hamad?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hamad, you are being charged by indictment on case 0 ending in 1138 with one count of aggravated kidnapping. That's a first-degree felony, which carries a possible range of punishment of anywhere from 5 to 99 years. And then with 4 counts of aggravated sexual assault, a first-degree felony as well, which carry a possible range of punishment of anywhere from 5 to 99 years. Are you familiar with that indictment, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
In case ending in 4028, you're being charged with 1 count of aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. That it's a first-degree felony, again carrying a possible range of punishment of anywhere from 5 to 99 years. And on the 2nd count with aggravated assault with deadly weapon, a 2nd-degree felony, which carries a possible range of punishment of anywhere from 2 to 20 years. And I believe I switch the counts. Count 1 is the aggravated assault. Count 2 is the aggravated robbery. Are you familiar with that indictment, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had an opportunity to review those allegations with your attorneys?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand what you are being charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you waive a reading of the indictments on both cases?
I don't understand what that means.
Do you want me to read the indictments out loud to you, or do you understand them because you have talked about them with your lawyers?
I talked about them.
And you understand them?
Yes, Your Honor. That's correct.
At this time, sir, on case number 23-01138, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty. Not guilty, Your Honor. Not guilty.
Thank you. And on 20-904028, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
And your pleas of not guilty will be noted on both cases. The cases will be reset for 2 months to give the state and the defense to continue working on discovery, and for the state to determine whether or not there is any outstanding DNA testing that needs to be conducted. I expect to have an update on that at the next court hearing.
We can set it for a jury card. Do you want to set it on a Monday where they can be present?
Let's go ahead and set it on a Monday.
We can set it on May the 17th at 9 a.m.
You all are excused until May the 17th. Thank you, Mr. Hamad. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Judge.
Hey, Judge, we have attorneys in breakout rooms, and we're just waiting for them to come out.
Okay.
These are some of baby Margot's first steps.
Oh, but let me
hopefully she'll be up on the docket shortly. Hey Bailey, good to see you. This is definitely an important case. It's just, as you can see, I've just put these pictures up on the bottom left. The affidavit was quite long, and it was really terrible. Magen strangled Heidi with a dog leash. And yeah, she Googled Heidi 162 times in 37 days. She was obsessed. She was going to get that baby. The picture on the bottom right is Megan's house, where Heidi and Margot, the baby, were found. Yeah, so it's just looking, because of COVID, the prosecution hasn't answered whether they are going to seek the death penalty, but she has been charged with capital murder, and this is Texas, and Texas doesn't mess around. So unless she takes a plea deal, if they even give her one, I would say she's going to get the death penalty, because this was just horrific, and it was totally planned out months in advance. And I would be very surprised if she didn't get the death penalty. But 80% of US cases are usually given a plea deal, just so that the system runs more smoothly. Not that it really runs smoothly, especially with COVID, but yeah, around 80% usually take a plea. It's going to be up to the prosecution. It's going to be up to Heidi's family as well. We saw it in the Chris Watts case, where the death penalty was taken off the table, largely because Shanann Watts' family didn't want it. But in return, you know, he pleaded guilty. So it's going to depend on what the prosecution wants, if they want to do a plea deal, and on Heidi's family as well. So we can only wait and see. This is her first hearing in 15 months since this happened. Well, it happened December 2019. Yeah, and everyone wants to look at the husband or the boyfriend first, and he did get a lot of flack, because this wasn't, everyone still had Chris Watts in their mind, and they didn't, you know, they looked at him and what he must have had something to do with it. And no, he wasn't involved at all. And if it is a plea, yeah, I agree, Bailey, it will be life. She's not getting out. Not for something like this that was so, that, you know, this wasn't a crime of passion. This wasn't, you know, this was planned out. She pretended to be pregnant. She had a baby register up. She had a fake due date. She was in the delivery room with Heidi when she gave birth to Margot. She was going to get that baby at all costs. Well, hey, Brennan, that time is not sure. Oh, you mean Megan's boyfriend? No. Yeah, he kind of knew something was up, but no, I think he was completely shocked. He wasn't in on this. She really pulled the wool over his eyes. Good morning. Good morning. Well, it is morning here. It's 10 to 1 in the morning, but now this was supposed to start at 9 Central, and then someone said it got shifted, as can happen on these dockets, depending on, you know, a lot of things. COVID, representation, people running late. It looks like we're going to someone else who is on probation. But hopefully it will be up so soon, sooner than later. Oh, it's terrible. I'm glad Margot's now one, little Margot. And I'm just glad that she was young, that she was a baby, a newborn when this happened. It's going to be more difficult for Silas, which is Heidi's other child that she had. Like, he was a bit older. I heard that this was a request for reduction in bond, which, for capital murder, tampering with a corpse and kidnapping, I think it's a joke if she thinks she's gonna get
Understand your
a
client
reduction in
has some
bond,
questions.
because she's not getting out.
You're muted.
Okay, let me get rid of
She
some
has
of these
texted me that.
pictures.
I've asked her what the questions are to assess whether or not the court would address them, and she is not responsive to me.
I'm right here.
Ms. Brown, what are your questions?
Unfortunately, Bailey, there's a lot of women who think that, isn't it? That you know, they've got this child and it's going to keep them in their
about
life.
The Class A, and
this is true evil. It
seeing
really is.
if I was able to use that my back time from when I was released from a Class A. On this charge, I was held in jail and wasn't released because Austin still had a hold on me.
Ms. Brown, do you have your camera on, or can't really tell?
I was under the impression that the bond was 600,000. To
Computer
me,
was
that seems very
sorry.
low.
Thank you.
Yes, I was trying to see if I had time. Well,
don't know what this hearing is, because this
was
is her first hearing. Since
So let
that
me
first
stop you.
appearance that she had when she was arrested, this is the first one.
My understanding is that the current plea offer is for probation. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So if it's probation, you will not be getting credit for the time that you have been in custody.
Yeah, it looks like there's
That
heaps
is
on the
something
docket
that you
today,
can talk further
Brennan.
with your attorney about.
But they're usually
in
pretty
general,
quick, so
I
I'm
can
hoping
tell
she
you, you
comes
will
up
not
soon.
get jail credit if you're going to be placed on probation.
So I may clarify for the court. She, because of the concerns over the PAM and the scram and ability to pay, she'd asked me whether or not she could just get a plea to a misdemeanor for the back time that she was in. I did send that request over to Guillermo. I'm not sure I got a direct response from him on it, but I anticipate that the response is no, because the entire point of his recommendation, which took a lot to get him to come off of the felony, was that she have these conditions that were put in place. The other dilemma is that we were trying to create the sentence, because originally he was going to reduce it just to a class A second, but that was going to require a 10-day jail sentence, for which originally it was in Judge Kennedy's court, and we had concerns about whether or not the 10 days would be applied. And so we were going to do it a different way. Guillermo did ask me, can probation do a financial study and determine if she could not have to pay those fees? But my response to him, and that was the last response, was they don't normally do the financial study until they're placed on probation, and that doesn't normally affect the payment of the scram and PAM. And I just indicated that it's a catch-22 for the clients and all parties involved.
Yeah, Ms. Brown, and I will not get in between the negotiations between you, your lawyer, and the state. That is why you have a lawyer, so that she can negotiate for you. But, just to answer your question, which was, can you get credit for the time that you have been in jail? You will not get credit if you are taking a a probation agreement. Okay. Anything else, Ms. Brown?
I'm like confused. So
Okay.
the only way I can get the back time if I take jail.
That is correct, ma'am. The law only allows for you to get back time credit on a jail sentence. And again, I will ask that you discuss that with your lawyer. That is why you have a lawyer, so that she can help you understand and navigate what you're facing right now. Okay? So the case is still reset for 4/26. Okay?
And Tavia, is that all your questions? You'd indicated in your message you had several and you felt things moved too quickly. So I want to make sure.
I'm trying to make sure.
It may be of some benefit to the courts. The explanation that I gave to Ms. Brown was that we've reached a point in the case where the only two options that exist for her is to either schedule it for a jury trial, which I am prepared to do, or to accept one of the offers. One was for a 5-year prison sentence with 8 years probation and all the bells and whistles, or the misdemeanor probation that was offered. But those are the only two avenues that exist for her at the present moment: trial or plea.
And Ms. Brown, I am not familiar with the facts of your case. I am sure, being that this is a 2018 case, that negotiations have been ongoing for quite some time. The state has their reasons as to why they're offering what they are offering. And ultimately, yes, you have two options. One, you accept the plea offer that's being made by the state, or the case gets set for trial. That is completely up to you on what you wish to do. My advice is that you follow your counsel's advice. She knows what she's doing, and she knows the law.
Yes, ma'am.
Therefore, it would be best if you follow her advice. But again, I am giving you time to go ahead and look for an attorney and hire someone of your choosing, so that you can make that decision. But ultimately, you will have two options. One, you take a plea agreement. Two, you go to trial. Does that answer your questions, Ms. Brown?
No, it kind of still makes me feel in the same spot, because I'm like, it. Of course, you're aware I have mental issues.
It's my understanding that there are some mental health issues. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, while being detained in jail, I happened to be tased in a restraint chair with 3/4 of my body percent restrained.
Okay. And I am sorry that you had to go through that experience. Unfortunately, that does not affect the options that you have with your felony DWI case. And again, I am not your lawyer. You need to speak to your lawyer. If you don't feel comfortable speaking with Ms. Gately and you're able to hire someone else, then by all means do that.
My mom and them is trying to help me, but honestly, it's probably gonna take a little bit longer than a month to come up with what they asked for.
Okay. At this time, that is all the time that I can give you, again, because this is a relatively old case. Okay. We will address the issue of the attorney again when we come back in April. Okay. But again, at this time, if you can talk to Ms. Gately, then please do so. Otherwise, see what you can do as far as hiring someone else. If you are not able to do that and there are still communication issues with Ms. Gately, then we'll reconsider your attorney situation at that time.
Your Honor, may I say something on behalf of the state?
Sure, Mr. Nelson.
Attorney. I in no way want to stop the defendant from hiring an attorney if that's what she wishes, but I would like to stay on the record that Ms. Gately has already gone up to our division director. So it's virtually impossible that there's going to be a better offer than what's been communicated to the client, regardless of who the attorney is. So if she wants to hire an attorney, that is her right and completely the same, but I just want to make sure she understands from the state's perspective, she'll be hiring an attorney to get an identical offer or to go to trial. That's the only two options that we'd have.
Okay, I hope that helps, Ms. Brown. We'll be back on the 26th. Thank you, Mr. Nielsen.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. May I be excused?
Yes, you may.
So in a sense, I might be going to jail anyway because probation fees and all that stuff.
Ma'am, that is not what we're talking about right now. I have no idea what the actual
The
terms of the
22
probation
is Bill
are.
Gately was just saying.
Ms. Brown, please talk to your lawyer about what you can expect with the probation and about what your options are, okay? Thank you. You all are excused.
Thank you.
We have Arce next.
Arce is ready, out of custody with Ms. Harero. And yes, that's right.
Your Honor, I have Mr. Benitez and his attorney here, and I have him online with Maria.
Okay. Good morning. Give me 1 second, please. Okay. Buenos días, señor Benítez Arce. ¿Me puede escuchar?
Sí.
Ok. En un momento vamos a empezar con su caso. Solo quiero decirle si necesita hablar con su abogada en privado, por favor, déjame saber, ¿ok? ¿Sí entiende lo que le digo?
Sí.
Ok, gracias. At this time, we are calling D1DC 17-207-006, State of Texas versus Oscar Benitez Arce. Case is called for a plea. Is the state ready?
State of Texas is ready, Your Honor.
Defense ready?
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
And sir, are you Oscar Benitez Arce?
Yes.
And Mr. Benitez Arce, you are appearing in court with your attorney, and we also have an interpreter. Maria, have you been sworn in?
Oh, no, Your Honor, I have not been.
Okay, we need to do that, please.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you would truthfully and accurately translate from Spanish to English and English to Spanish to the best of your abilities, so help you God?
I swear.
Thank you. So, Mr. Benitez Arce, you are being assisted by Spanish interpreter that will let you know everything that is going on here today in your native language of Spanish. Please raise your right hand so that you can be sworn in by the clerk, Mr. Benitez.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you may now give in this cause, pending before the court, will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
You can put the hand down. I'm sorry, I didn't hear the answer from the interpreter.
Yes.
And Mr. Benitez, as you can see, we are appearing through video on a platform called Zoom. In addition, we are live streaming on YouTube. Are you okay with proceeding in that manner?
Yes, that's fine.
Right now, are you under the influence of alcohol, any drugs, or any prescription medication?
No.
No.
Have you ever received any type of mental health treatment?
No.
No.
Do you understand everything that is going on here today?
Yes.
And counsel, have you had an opportunity to speak with your client today and on prior occasions, and do you have an opinion regarding his competency?
I believe he is competent, Your Honor.
And the court will find that he is competent and that he understands the nature of the proceedings here today. Mr. Benitez Arce, you're being charged with an amended indictment with the felony offense of deadly conduct discharging a firearm. That is a third-degree felony, which carries a possible range of punishment of anywhere from 2 to 10 years. Are you familiar with that indictment?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to review the allegations against you with your lawyer?
Yes.
And do you understand what you're being charged with?
Yes.
And state you're proceeding on an amended indictment. When was the indictment amended?
Your Honor, it was amended this morning and only to add the language of the amount of damage done.
And defense, do you waive your 2 days notice of the indictment or 10 days notice of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Benitez Arce, understanding what you are being charged with, do you waive a reading of the indictment?
Yes.
And it's my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to the charge today. Is that right?
Yeah.
State, how are you proceeding?
We're proceeding on the lesser included charge of criminal mischief, a Class B misdemeanor.
Mr. Benitez Arce, do you understand that by pleading guilty today, you are waiving some very important constitutional rights, including the right to ask questions of witnesses, the right to remain silent, and the right to have a jury trial?
Yes.
And knowing that you are waiving those rights, is it still your desire to plead guilty today?
Yes.
Has anybody forced you, threatened you, or coerced you in any way to get you to plead guilty today?
No.
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you're guilty and for no other reason?
Yes.
In addition, do you understand that by pleading that a plea of guilty, if you are not a U.S. citizen, could result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to this country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
Yes.
And counsel, have you had an opportunity to review with your client his rights? Do you believe that he understands them and that he's voluntarily waiving them?
I do, Your Honor. And I did want to add, we also spoke with immigration attorney Pamela Moreno regarding potential immigration consequences. And because this charge is not a crime involving moral turpitude, that preserves his options with immigration.
And Mr. Benitez Arce, are you satisfied with that information that you have received from your lawyer?
Yes.
And State, do you have any evidence?
State offers states 1 and 2.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
States 1 and 2 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Benitez Arce, you should have in front of you what has been previously marked as State's Exhibit 1, which is your plea of guilty, admonishments, and voluntary statements. Have you had an opportunity to review that document with your attorney, and do you understand the rights that you're giving up by signing it?
Yes.
And did you in fact sign that document above the line where it says defendant?
Yes.
States Exhibit 2 is a discovery compliance statement, which is basically a list of all the evidence that you and your lawyer have received from the state. Did you also have an opportunity to review that document with your lawyer?
Yes. Also.
And did you also sign that document above the line where it says defendant?
Yes.
In addition, you have a document entitled Written Admonition on Ineligibility to Possess Firearms or Ammunition. Did you review that document and sign that document as well?
Yes.
And do you understand that as a result of this conviction, you will not be able to own any firearms?
Yes.
And state what is the recommendation in the case?
It is for 1 year probation, deferred, 20 hours community service restitution, forfeit the weapons, and there should be an agreed forfeiture in the paperwork. No weapons, and stay away from the apartment complex, and restitution if there is any.
Counsel, is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Benitez Arce, is that your understanding?
Yes.
And do you understand that I do not have to follow the plea agreement? But if I do, you will not be able to withdraw your plea and you will not be able to appeal your case.
Yes.
Mr. Benitez Arce, to the lesser included offense of criminal mischief, causing damage greater than $100 but less than $750, a Class B misdemeanor, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And the court accepts your plea of guilty and finds that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Are we ready to proceed to sentencing?
Page ready?
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
Anything from either side before I impose sentence?
Nothing further from the state.
No, Your Honor, nothing further.
Mr. Benitez Arce, anything that you wish to tell me before I impose sentence?
No.
Mr. Benitez Arce, I have determined that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, I will not find you guilty at this time and defer a finding of guilt and instead place you on a 12-month deferred adjudication, probation. You will be ordered to forfeit the weapon that was used in the offense, and you have already signed a document indicating that you will be doing that. You will be ordered to complete 20 hours of community service. You are ordered that you cannot possess any weapons. You are ordered to stay away from the apartment complex where the offense took place, and you're ordered to pay restitution, if any. I am sure your attorney has already told you that deferred adjudication is a good and a bad thing. The good thing is that if you comply with all the conditions and you stay out of trouble, the case will be dismissed in the future. On the other hand, if you do not comply with the conditions of deferred adjudication, you could be facing up to 6 months in the county jail. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
And are you willing to comply with all the conditions?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No.
Well, I wish you good luck. Buena suerte. Probation, do we have to tell him anything?
You should have a paper titled the probation assignment form. The phone number for the intake unit is on that form. You can give them a call this afternoon and they'll set you up with a probation officer.
Thank you, sir. Buena suerte.
Judge, we have another case ready at the CJC, which is Villanueva, but I also sent you a message. If you want to look at that, please.
Okay. And you said Villanueva is the next case?
Yes, Judge, with Attorney Ms. Cuellar.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Ms. Cuellar. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Doing great, thank you.
Good.
Give me 1 second.
Your Honor, whenever you're ready, I have Mr. Villanueva already on the phone with Maria.
Buenos días, señor Villanueva.
Buenos días.
En un momento vamos a iniciar su caso, pero quiero decirle si tiene necesidad de hablar con su abogada en privado otra vez, por favor déjame saber, ¿ok?
Está todo bien.
This time I am calling D1DC 17-206-273, State of Texas versus Jefrim Villanueva Fernandez. The state, I'm sorry, the case is called for a plea. Is the state ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
The defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, are you Jefrim Villanueva Fernandez?
Sí.
Yes. And Mr. Villanueva, you're appearing in court today with the assistance of a Spanish interpreter. Is that your first language? Spanish?
Sí.
Yes. And you're being assisted with an interpreter who has been previously sworn by the court, who will be interpreting for you from English to Spanish and Spanish to English. Mr. Villanueva, please raise your right hand so that you can be sworn in by the clerk.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you may now give in this cause, in name before the court, will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sí.
Yes. You can put your hand down. Mr. Villanueva, as you can see, we are appearing through video on a platform called Zoom. In addition, we are live streaming on YouTube. Are you okay with proceeding in that manner?
Sí, está bien.
Yes, that's fine. And today, are you under the influence of alcohol, any drugs, or any prescription medication?
No.
No. Have you ever received any type of mental health treatment?
No.
No. Do you understand everything that is going on here today?
Sí.
Yes. And counsel, have you had an opportunity to speak with your client today and on prior occasions? And do you have an opinion regarding his competency?
Yes, Your Honor. I've spoke to him on several occasions previous to this and today, and I do believe that he is competent.
And the court will find that he is competent and that he understands the proceedings going on here today. Mr. Villanueva, you're being charged by indictment with the felony offense in counts 1 through 4 of aggravated sexual assault of a child. That is a first-degree felony, which carries a possible range of punishment of anywhere from 5 to 99 years. And then on counts 5 through 6, with the offense of indecency with a child by contact, a second-degree felony, which carries a possible range of punishment of anywhere from 2 to 20 years. Are you familiar with that indictment, sir?
Sí,
Yes. And have you had an opportunity to review the allegations with your lawyer?
sí,
Yes. And do you understand what you're being charged with today?
sí,
Yes. And because you understand, do you waive a reading of the indictment?
sí.
Yes. And state, how are you proceeding?
Your Honor, we're waiving counts 1 through 4 and count 6, and we're proceeding on the lesser included for count 5 of indecency with a child by exposure.
And that charge of indecency with a child by exposure, it's a third-degree felony, sir, and that carries a possible range of punishment of anywhere from 2 to 10 years. It's my understanding, Mr. Villanueva, that you wish to plead guilty to that charge.
Sí,
Yes. And do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're giving up some very important constitutional rights, including the right to ask questions of witnesses, the right to remain silent, and the right to have a jury trial?
sí,
Yes. And knowing that you are giving up those rights, is it still your wish to plead guilty today?
sí.
Yes. Has anybody forced you, threatened you, or coerced you in any way to get you to plead guilty today?
No,
No. Are you pleading guilty because you're guilty and for another reason?
sí,
Yes. In addition, do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty can result in your deportation, your exclusion from this country, or denial of naturalization under federal law?
sí,
Yes. And counsel, have you had an opportunity to review with your client his constitutional rights? Do you believe that he understands them and that he is voluntarily waiving them?
Yes, Your Honor, we've had several conversations about this, and I do believe that he does understand.
And state, what is your evidence?
Your Honor, the state offers exhibits 1 and 2.
No objection, Your Honor.
And states 1 and 2 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Villanueva, you should have in front of you what has been previously been admitted as states exhibit 1 and 2. State 1, it's a plea of guilty, admonishments, and voluntary statements. Have you had an opportunity to review with your lawyer that document, and do you understand the rights that you're giving up by signing it?
sí,
Yes. And did you in fact sign that document above the line where it says defendant?
sí,
Yes. State exhibit 2, it's entitled Discovery Compliance Statement, and that is basically the evidence, a list of the evidence that the state has made available to you and your lawyer. Have you had an opportunity to review that document with your lawyer as well?
sí,
Yes. And did you also sign that document above the line where it says defendant?
sí.
Yes. And state, what is the plea agreement?
Your Honor, we have an agreement for 5 years deferred adjudication with treatment and counseling as recommended, internet monitoring, no contact with the victim as named in the probation paperwork, stay away from the laundromat Spin City on Old Port, and no unsupervised contact with minors.
Counsel, is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Villanueva, is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Sí,
Yes. Mr. Villanueva, do you understand that I do not have to follow the plea agreement, but if I do, you will not be able to take your plea back and you will not be able to appeal the case?
Sí.
Yes.
To the lesser included offense, indecency with a child by exposure, a third-degree felony, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty, sir?
Culpable.
Guilty.
And the court will accept your plea of guilty and find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Are we ready to proceed to sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything from either side before I impose sentence?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing from us, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Villanueva, the court has determined that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty of the lesser included offense of indecency with a child by exposure. However, I believe that the interest of justice and the community and yourself are better served by suspending that sentence and by placing you on a deferred adjudication probation for a term of 5 years. You are to complete treatment and counseling as recommended. You are to stay away from the victim in the case. Your internet access will be monitored throughout the probation term. You are to stay away from the laundromat located at called Spin City, located at 1900 East Altorf Street here in Austin. And you cannot have any unsupervised contact with minors. Do you understand those conditions, Mr. Villanueva?
Sí.
Yes.
And I am sure your attorney has told you that deferred adjudication can be either good or bad. If you comply with all the conditions, your case will be dismissed at some point in the future. However, if you violate the conditions of your probation, you can be exposed to a sentence of anywhere from 2 to 10 years. Do you understand that, sir?
Sí.
Yeah.
And are you willing to comply with the conditions of your deferred adjudication?
Sí.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No.
No.
Probation.
I just wanted to put it on the record that I sent the sex offender additional conditions of community supervision to Ms. Sullivan and Ms. Cuellar. And all of them are checked off conditions 31 through 46.
I apologize. Yes. Mr. Villanueva, did you review with your lawyer the sex offender registration requirements that apply to your case?
Sí.
Yeah.
And counsel, did you have an opportunity to review that document with your client as well?
Yes, Your Honor. We've had several meetings going over this.
And do you believe that he understands the requirements that are imposed on him?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Thank you. Anything else from anyone?
The probation paperwork that they sent over today, it was in English. Do y'all happen to have that in Spanish?
I think so, yes. I can email it to you if you want, or I can email it to the CJC and have them print it up if he wants to hang out for a minute.
Yeah, whatever's easier for you guys. I explained it to him and I translated it. I just don't know if when he leaves, if he'll be able to remember everything because it's kind of been a lot this morning.
Yes, yeah, I can get that sent over.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Your Honor, the signature line for the defendant for additional conditions of community supervision has not been signed. Would you like me to have him do that now?
Additional conditions would.
Page 3 of the community supervision packet, Your Honor.
Yes, and that is something that Ms. Cuellar, you have reviewed with your client, correct?
Yes, I believe he probably skipped it because I told him they were going to be taking his fingerprint on that same page. So I think he was maybe had misunderstood that he was going to sign it at that time. But yes, I did go over it in detail.
Okay, just please go ahead and have him sign that.
Yes, Your Honor.
I apologize for that.
No problem. Okay, Mr. Villanueva, you are on deferred adjudication. Buena suerte. You're excused. Thank
Can
you.
I, really quick, sorry, reporting instructions. On one of the papers, it's titled the probation assignment form. The phone number for the intake unit is on that form. If you can give them a call this afternoon, they'll set you up with your probation officer.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Thank
You all
you,
have a
Your
nice day. It was nice seeing y'all.
Bye.
You're off the record.
Okay, Maria, I think that's the last of our Spanish speakers.
Okay.
Thank you for your help today.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Maria.
And Judge, we're just waiting on Mr. Gergen, who's in the breakout room, and then we can take care of Mr. Fieramusca next. The parties are all present.
Okay. Okay, is this Ms. Fieramusca?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good morning, Ms. Bailey.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Well, Judge, how are you?
I am doing well. Can't complain. Thank you. So I just wanted to bring Ms. Fieramusca briefly, just to update her on what's going on. Initially, there had been a request for a hearing. However, it's my understanding that the defense does not wish to proceed on that hearing today. Is that right, Ms. Bailey?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And what we'll do, Ms. Fieramusca, your case will be reset to our conference docket, or status conference docket. What that means is that I will have an opportunity to speak with your lawyers and the state to see where things stand as far as your case being ready for a trial in the future. So that will happen within the next, how long do y'all need, counsel? Would 3 weeks be enough?
What about a month, Your Honor?
Month? Okay. We'll go ahead and reset for a month.
That'll be April the 28th at 1 p.m.
Okay. And that is it for today, Ms. Fieramusca. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of what's going on, okay?
Okay.
All right. Anything else from anyone?
Nothing from defense.
Stay.
Nothing, Judge. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you. All your excuse. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Okay, Judge, like I said, the last case we have is Mr. Cardenas with attorney Ben Gergen, who is in the breakout room.
Okay. We'll be in recess for a minute.
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good morning, Ms. Bailey.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Well, Judge, how are you?
I am doing well. Can't complain. Thank you. So I just wanted to bring Ms. Fieramusca briefly, just to update her on what's going on. Initially, there had been a request for a hearing. However, it's my understanding that the defense does not wish to proceed on that hearing today. Is that right, Ms. Bailey?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And what we'll do, Ms. Fieramusca, your case will be reset to our conference docket or status conference docket. What that means is that I will have an opportunity to speak with your lawyers and the state to see where things stand as far as your case being ready for a trial in the future. So that will happen within the next, how long do y'all need, counsel? Would 3 weeks be enough?
What about a month, Your Honor?
Month? Okay. We'll go ahead and reset for a month.
That'll be April the 28th at 1 p.m.
Okay. And that is it for today, Ms. Fieramusca. I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of what's going on, okay?
Okay.
All right. Anything else from anyone?
Nothing from the defense.
State.
Nothing, Judge. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you. All your excuse. Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Yeah, so all of that, they're pretty quick. But yeah, she's not looking great. That was really quick. Okay, so next one I'm probably going to be covering is George Floyd. I'm just waiting for jury selection to get through, and I know that's going to take a little while, but they're not far off actually. They were only needing one more juror. They had 13, so that should be starting soon. If I can do coverage on that, I will try my best. We've also got some other ones coming up too, retrials on Scott Peterson, possibly Justin Ross Harris with the hot car baby death. What else is coming up? Obviously Laurie Vallow and Chad Daybell, so I'll cover those as well. Let me just have a look at this here. Okay, I'm in the process of updating my memberships as well, so once they've gone through, check those out, because I'm going to start doing weekly true crime discussions on all the latest cases that are happening. But thanks for coming in, guys. Sorry that was just a short hearing, but we got to see her, and see what happens next.